Meanwhile, the pandemic is creating new hiring demands as vaccinations ramp up across the country. And right here in Middle Tennessee, people are returning to a more normal way of life, which means more doctors and nurses are needed. And as News 2's Nicole Smith explains, this trend could permanently change the industry.
Supply and demand. That's what drives the work of people like David Carr with Medics, tasked with staffing the healthcare industry during a worldwide pandemic.
And it started out with a heavy focus on essential employees being, temperature screeners, right? And then that evolved into contact tracing and COVID testing.
While these new roles opened up, positions that were already struggling were even more pressured. For example, Carr says respiratory therapists were in high demand even before COVID-19.
And that's something that was somewhat exacerbated by COVID-19, right? And creating even more of a demand for those roles.
A shortage of nurses has also been a long-standing issue that grew even more during the pandemic.
Many health systems have plans in place, right, to for whether it's leveraging travel nurses or agency utilization.
Now that vaccinations are climbing in Middle Tennessee, it's opening up demand for workers to get shots into arms.
When Governor Lee authorized certified medical assistants to administer vaccines, that opened up not only opened up the talent pool, but also allowed the vaccination efforts to be to roll out more effectively and efficiently.
That's one of the healthcare positions he's seeing high demand for. Others include nursing, pharmacists, and EMTs, as well as roles not solely tied to the field of healthcare.
We're still seeing a need for folks that have scheduling backgrounds, laboratory services, right? The behind the scenes folks that maybe aren't at the vaccination sites, but are doing a lot of the work behind the scenes to make sure that these efforts are rolled out effectively.
He says while many of these spots are temporary, some employers do end up keeping the staff they intended on having short term. Reporting in Nashville, Nicole Smith, News 2.
Medics placed almost 1,000 vaccinators at 26 entities across the country, including hospitals, medical groups, clinics, pharmacies, and departments of public health. Don't forget, you can check out the News 2 Who's Hiring section of our website anytime on WKRN.com.